Carlos, what do you guys know about Pentaro and what made him the choice to jump straight from Double A?
Yeah, pretty cool story, right? I think this is an organizational win when you're talking about a kid that was pitching independent ball last year, and for our scouting department to identify the talent, putting it in the system, and then player development. Helping this kid to a point where his name is in the conversation for a potential called up, and now he's getting an opportunity. Like credit to him, obviously, because it's not easy what he did. But yeah, man, this is a kid that continues to get people out. He's kind of like a funky delivery. We got a combination of a sinker and a cutter. So yeah, pretty special day for him. Dream come true. And look, with the way where we at bullpen wise, he's a guy that can give us up to 75, 80 pitches if we need to. So looking for length here, and we'll go from there.
Tony?
I think this is the 6th day in a row that you've made at least one pitching move in the bullpen. Just how difficult is this as a management team to kind of get everything sorted every day and have a bullpen that you can feel comfortable with going into each night's game?
Yeah, it's part of 162 because it's crazy how things change so quick. I think we went for the first month without making a transaction. And I don't think I've seen that happening. And here we are, making 6 days in a row where it's at times 2 of them a day like today. But it's part of it, And I remember my first day addressing the team in spring training, like a lot of guys that are not even here in this room are going to impact. So it's on us to make those guys feel welcome, make them feel comfortable because they're here for a reason. And they're going to help us win baseball games. It's part of it, It's what we do here. Guys will come in and out. And it comes down to then helping us win baseball games at this level. So yeah, I don't make too much. It's just part of the grind, especially when you face injuries. You're playing a stretch of games where there's no off days in between. It's gonna happen. So that's why you build depth, And here we are, getting tested.
And with Waddell now being the only lefty down there, does that change in your mind how you use him?
Yes and no. We'll treat him more as a reliever as opposed to a guy that is going to come in here and give us 75 pitches. So yeah, we'll treat him more like a normal reliever, where he pitches maybe a day off or 2, depending on how many pitches he throws. He's not as of right now. Again, everything can change, in a couple of days. But he's the only lefty there, and then we'll treat it as.
Howie?
Carlos, how would you characterize the jump for a pitcher from Double A to the majors now compared to what it might have been 5, 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's a big jump. It's a big jump going from Double A to Triple A because the baseball is different. So they use a different baseball in Double A than what they use in Triple A.
Has that always been the case?
I think it's been the case for a couple of years now. I'm not sure. But the good thing with Pentaro is in the fall league, they use the same big league baseball, so he's used to it. And then that's part of the development with the kids now, where you try and tell them to use the big league ball before they get to AAA level. So when they do get there, they're not, in this case, when they get to the big league level, So it's different. It's a big jump. For a lot of different reasons. You're facing big league hitters, 1 through 9. On the Double A level, not so much. But this is a kid that Pentaro specifically, he's been through a lot, and he earned it.
What is the difference between the big league ball?
Seems
higher, lower?
Yeah, I'm not sure which way, but it's a different baseball. You didn't know that, huh?
Joe?
Carlos, have you gotten an update on Mark Vientos, how he's done the last couple of days, and is there a next step?
Yeah, so he played last night, and they had a day game today. Played third base, got 3 at bats. That was he was only going to get. He was on because he played third base. Played third base again today. So he'll be back here tomorrow. Now we got to get with the trainers, talk to him, and see if he needs an off day after playing back to back, or he's ready to go and play for us.
Hi, Dahani Joseph with The Athletic. We'll ask you about Klay Holmes. He already surpassed his career high in innings pitched this season. Are you guys worried at all about the fatigue and wear and tear up until this point? And going forward?
I wouldn't say worry, but we're watching him closely, just like we're watching and monitoring all of our guys here, especially when you get to this point. And a guy like Klay making that transition, there's a lot of testing that they do in the training room, in the weight room, that kind of guide us, when we're making decisions. The feedback from the player is important, obviously. So as far as like us being worried, no, but we'll continue to monitor.